Welcome everyone to the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting today. Thank you all for coming. We've got an exciting announcement. I'm Joseph Japp. I am the president of the Submarine Cincinnati Memorial Association. We're glad you're all here today. First, we have a special thanks to Jack Dominic, Executive Director of Voice of America. Jack? Thank you. He's busy arranging chairs. So we've been working on this for a long time, as you know, and we wouldn't be here today without the help with a lot of our partners. An omission, we've left off the Liberty Westchester Chamber of Commerce and the Visitors Museum, so I'm sorry about that. We'll catch you on the next time around, but we've been working with these folks, been very helpful to us, and we appreciate their partnership with us on this thing. This is a project of the Navy League of Cincinnati. You may not know what the Navy League is, but it's a civilian organization, a lot of Navy vets, but also civilians, family members, and a lot of corporate partners. And I'd like to introduce to you the president of our local Navy League, Pete Borden. He's also vice president and general tool here, their local defense contractor. He's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon, everyone. Would you stand with me now and we'll recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As Joe said, I'm Pete Borden, and it's my honor this year to be president of the Cincinnati chapter of the Navy League. The USS Cincinnati and the Voice of America helped our nation to preserve peace and freedom for decades based upon the idea of peace through strength. And a technological marvel like SSN 693 could not have happened without Southwest Ohio's Defense Industrial Manufacturing Base. You may not be aware that Ohio has the third largest manufacturing economy of any state in the country. More than 100 companies in Ohio have supplied over $2 trillion worth of parts in the last 5 years alone to Electric Boat and to Newport News Shipbuilding, the country's two manufacturers of our submarines. Now, I work at General Tool Company in Reading. We're about a 300-person company. We're one of 5,000 companies in the submarine industrial base. We make hatches, tanks, and missile launch hardware for the Virginia and Columbia class submarines. And today we need to hire dozens of people to meet the Navy's demands. However, we cannot find enough people that have an interest in learning a trade like machining or welding. We also need more people with STEM skills, training in science, technology, engineering, math, and digital technologies. Perhaps you've seen our ads on telecasts like NASCAR and the NFL programs, buildsubmarines.com. So one of the goals that we have for this Peace Memorial is that this will serve as a catalyst for students to enroll at schools like Butler Tech and the Oaks, and for people of all ages to see the technologies that went into making the USS Cincinnati. And we want them to say, wow, that is really cool. I'd like to learn more about how we do that. The Cincinnati Navy League is a proud sponsor of this memorial, and we're very excited about everything that it will do for the city, for the state, and for our country. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pete. Now, Jack, I think, is going to come up and say hello.
Jack will be brief. Good afternoon. I'm Jack Dominic. I'm the executive director here at the museum. Welcome. We're delighted to be the host of this very exciting announcement. And also, we're welcoming our new neighbors. So, welcome, new neighbors. This new memorial is a fitting tribute to the men and women who serve our country by keeping us safe and secure. To have it right here in Westchester, pretty awesome, right, Larry? Yeah. To be clear, this new memorial is not part of the VOA Museum. Nevertheless, we're excited about the potential to attract new visitors to the memorial, to the park, and hopefully to the museum. I, like you, am looking forward to hearing more about this extraordinary project. Again, welcome to the museum, and congratulations to the volunteers of the Submarine Cincinnati Memorial Association.
Next. So a little brief background about Cincinnati, USS Cincinnati and a submarine. So I don't know how many of you have ever encountered a submarine. Not many people in Cincinnati do. That is USS Cincinnati. It's in a floating dry dock. Crew is assembled in front of it for a group photo. But what we are doing is kind of recreating that experience. The memorial being full size, just the same dimensions as that, 360 feet long. It's as long as goalpost to goalpost on a football field. And from the bottom of the keel to the top of the sail is about 5 stories. The diameter of that hull is about 33 feet. It was actually built in the mid-'70s. It was launched in '77. The sponsor was Nancy Keating, the wife of Bill Keating, our former congressman, also publisher of the Enquirer. Keating family is very proud of this connection. The Keating families retained the champagne bottle that she broke on the bow when they launched USS Cincinnati. So we hope that someday. There's a picture of the launching right there. It actually slides back into the water, and that's the first time it gets to float. So that's a big ceremony. The one story the Keating family tells about Nancy was it's tied to a rope on the ship so it doesn't fall into the bottom, but she forgot to let go of the rope. So the ship started sliding, and so did Nancy. So an admiral that was on the podium next to her grabbed her so that she wouldn't be carried with the submarine on the side. So her family likes to tell that story. Enquirer had a little bit about this morning. We wanted to save it all, tell you today. I mean, this project started about over 20 years ago. We first asked the Navy, hey, you've decommissioned USS Cincinnati. Can we have it? Put it on the display as a museum vessel on the Cincinnati side of the river downtown. The Navy had never been asked for a nuclear submarine before. So I had to go to Washington and talk to them about that. And a couple years later, after some help from Congressman Rob Portman at the time, the Navy said, nah, we don't think we can give you a nuclear-powered submarine, but we'll give you pieces. So we settled for that. And we did get some pieces. We got about 100 tons of this submarine. So the conning tower sail that you see there with the wings, we've got that piece. You can just barely see it, the upper rudder at the back, which is 17 feet tall, 13 feet wide. And we also got the emergency diesel engine generator, which is painted red back when they were building this ship, because that was in the 70s when the Reds made their World Series run. So they painted that machine red. It was always called the Big Red Machine. Had a close connection with the Cincinnati Reds baseball team all throughout the career of the submarine. And we have the Big Red Machine. We'll put that on display as part of this. So that's a little bit of the history. I think it's time for video. So we're going to show you a little video now of what our vision for this memorial will be.
Captain, the ship is rigged for dive. Request permission to submerge the ship. Dive, dive, I want to take dive.
The USS Cincinnati Cold War Memorial Peace Pavilion commemorates the peaceful conclusion of the Cold War, honors the service of our city's namesake, the nuclear-powered submarine USS Cincinnati, which was a stalwart guardian of national security during the Cold War era, and symbolizes a commitment and investment our nation made towards peace during 50 years of Cold War conflict and dangerous uncertainty. Commissioned in 1978, USS Cincinnati served through the dissolution of the Soviet Union, which peacefully ended the Cold War. The USS Cincinnati Cold War Memorial Peace Pavilion will serve as a tribute to all of our military veterans, as well as the contributions of Cincinnatians and Cincinnati companies towards our national defense during the era that successfully ended the Cold War.
I feel as if this ship belongs to you as well as us, because you come from the city.
Nestled within the historic Voice of America Park in Westchester, just a short drive north of downtown Cincinnati, this isn't just a memorial. It's an impressive civic icon and valuable asset to the community. As children and families enter the memorial, they will experience the awesome and amazing sight of a full-size replica of the USS Cincinnati. The children are astounded by the complexity of a nuclear-powered submarine and the bravery of those who silently served under the sea. And visitors are reminded that freedom isn't free. A place to celebrate the past, navigate the present, and chart a course for generations to come. Exciting youngsters to opportunities in science, technology, engineering, and math, embodied in a modern nuclear-powered submarine. With private construction funding already identified, we now are raising a capital and endowment fund that will complete and then maintain and enhance this impressive memorial, featuring unique submarine artifacts and fuel educational programs and exhibits for eager minds to explore the range of technology and the depths of history represented by one of the most complex machines ever built. Join us in our mission to preserve history and set sail toward a brighter future.
From the USS Cincinnati! From the USS Cincinnati!
Together, we'll ensure the USS Cincinnati Cold War Memorial Peace Pavilion remains a place of honor and a salute to America's heroes.
You'll notice in there was some actual footage from on board USS Cincinnati back in 1981. Al Shuttlecotty went on board, did a special on that. So that was some actual crew shots from inside Cincinnati from long ago from the archives. I'd like to introduce now my partner in this effort, Bob Viney. Bob, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to introduce the website that for the project, which is on the front here. And you can go and see quite a bit of information about the submarine, the history, our plans for making this a real community benefit, the educational programs, etc. As I said, we wanted this to be a unique civic icon. That there's a tangible symbol of the nation's investments made over 50 years. It's a full-size submarine replica. When we went to the submarine museum that's in Groton, Connecticut, where the USS Nautilus actually sits in the water as a museum ship, and showed them the plans that we had, the comment from the executive director there was, "This will be the best submarine museum in the country after ours." Because while many communities are taking the sails from the submarines that were named for their city or their state and making memorials out of them, nobody has done a full-size replica or really taken on the benefits of educational and STEM and history that we planned for this memorial. The focus is really going to be on youngsters. We want to try to get as many kids to visit as possible. One of the advantages that we have, as Joe always talks about, is we don't have to be a destination to attract a lot of kids to the memorial. We have 7,000 or 8,000 kids during the summer every weekend who are going to be playing over here. Many will have a tournament at 10 and a tournament at 3. And what are they going to do in between times? Well, we're going to provide a unique educational opportunity that we hope will amaze them and get them interested in learning more about the science, technology, engineering, and math behind it. And this is also a community resource for recreation. We are going to have a splash pad. I don't know if you noticed that in the bow. We're also going to tie that into some of the submarine operations, like submerging, where you spray water out the ship when the vents open. So we'll be able to kind of give kids an idea of what that might be. But we're also thinking of this as a civic icon for patriotic events. So there's a deck, a pier that is going to be built next to the pond that's out here, where we'll be alongside. And that will be a perfect stage for patriotic events, political events, bands can play there. And if you've ever been to a big event here, there's really no shade, right? We're going to provide about 100 yards of shade for people that are out here on the events. So, ready for the next part.
I mean, when you look at the video that we showed of the tour of the memorial, what bride wouldn't want to hold her wedding there? I mean, next, Larry Burke's going to come up and tell us a little about Westchester.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to be here today. I hope when I say I can't wait to be aboard the USS Cincinnati that you share that sentiment with me. Today is a very important day because I've been working on this for 3 or 4 years now with Joe and Bob, and to understand how long they have been working on it, it gives me like pause for cause, and I'm talking about the dedication that they put into this. We really appreciate it. When the Voice of America property in this building were generously donated to the community by the federal government, Westchester committed to consistently uphold the value of this asset. This meant preserving the historical significance of the site, narrating its story, and ensuring the amenities and features serve the community's needs. The National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting is under the capable stewardship of Jack and the dedicated board of volunteers who are committed to portraying the legacy of this landmark facility. The museum stands as a tribute to our country's global influence and the bold ingenuity of the select group of engineers whose innovations facilitated global communication. And now, the USS Cincinnati Cold War Memorial and the Peace Pavilion adds another crucial dimension to that Cold War narrative. This memorial will honor the remarkable ingenuity and courage that upheld the United States global position and its pursuit of peace through strength. Additionally, it provides an avenue for education in STEM fields and the trades, and vital for our future workforce. While some final details are yet to be clarified, Westchester is proud to collaborate with the partners presented today to ensure the success of this memorial. It will serve as a fitting tribute to this historic property and offer context to thousands of those who visit the Voice of America Metro Park annually. Now, before I turn it back over to Bob, I see Trustee Mark Welch in the audience, and I believe Trustee Lee Wong and Trustee Ann Becker, if they are here. I want them to say a few words, if you don't mind, and show some their thoughts and appreciation to the project. Mark, if you don't mind coming up.
I'll be more brief than Jack was. It is an honor and a privilege that you are making the U.S. Cincinnati's final resting place, the inspiration here in Westchester Township in Metro Parks, right next to the Voice of America Museum. We will do everything in our power to ensure that this, the word of this, the history of this goes far and wide. We will love it, we will protect it, and we will be there for you. Thank you.
Chad, are you here somewhere? There you are. Chad's going to say a few words. Jackie couldn't be here today.
Thanks, Joe. What a great crowd. It's wonderful. We could have been outside, but I guess in early March when you plan this, you better plan appropriately, especially here in the winds of VOA. But I just wanted to say on behalf of the Board of Park Commissioners and our executive director, Jackie O'Connell, Metro Parks is excited for the USS Cincinnati to be a part of the visitor experience at VOA. You know, at Metro Parks, our goals are to protect public lands, advance the outdoor experience, engage with the community, and strengthen awareness and visibility. This new amenity will accomplish all of those things by bringing more citizens to our community, which will lead to the exploration of the trails and the lake and the athletic fields and the bike trail and all that we have to offer right next door at Voice of America Metro Park. So we look forward to this continued collaboration with Westchester Township and with the VOA Museum, Jack Dominic, and the Navy League, and many others on this exciting new project. We couldn't be happier to have it a part of the Voice of America area. Thank you very much.
Got a brief.
I'm Erin Satzker, President and CEO of the Northern Cincinnati Foundation. We would be honored if you would consider making a tax-free donation to the USS Cincinnati Cold War Memorial, Peace Pavilion, Capital and Endowment Fund. Please consider supporting this important community project with other individuals and companies in our region.
I'd like to start off and say thank you to all of the men and women who showed up that are veterans here today and are currently serving. So applause to you and your uniform today. Everyone looks wonderful, so thank you. So when I first met with Bob and Joe here, maybe a year and a half ago, about this project, I knew that the Northern Cincinnati Foundation had to be a part of this project and had to be that philanthropic partner that walked alongside to help fundraise those dollars. And so we really couldn't be happier because we feel like Northern Cincinnati, this whole region, is very supportive of this important community project. We're just really excited. We actually have wonderful and generous donors that have already given to this capital as well as endowment campaign. But we actually have a wonderful anonymous donor that is going to be giving a dollar-for-dollar match. And we have about $1.5 million left to go to fundraise on that capital campaign. So we would love it if anyone wants to donate to that today. And obviously we are working as a team to close that gap. So we're just really excited about it and really happy to be working with these gentlemen as well as Metro Parks and Westchester Township. Thank you.
Yes, as Aaron mentioned, we've already secured private funding of over $6 million. We can start construction probably this summer, if not sooner. The additional funding we need will be to complete some of the features, to enhance the memorial down the road. So as Aaron said, we've partnered with some folks to try to close that gap. As I said, construction this summer total will take 10 months to build this, but construction is construction. So Drew, I don't believe it, but we hope to finish next summer because year 2025 is the 125th birthday of the U.S. Submarine Force. It's the 250th anniversary birthday of the U.S. Navy. The following year, 2026, is our nation's 250th birthday. So we see the memorial arriving, riding a wave of patriotic enthusiasm. So we're looking forward to that. So we're looking to recruit partners to the project. We have opportunities here. So there's lots of different features of the memorial. If you know someone who might want to be especially supportive of this, we'd be welcome to talk to those folks. And any time they want to contact either Bob, I, Aaron, any of us involved. So that's our presentation. Any questions? There's plenty of veterans here, submariners here, so anybody has submarine-specific questions, find one of them. We'd like to confine our questions to the project. But don't talk to them too much because they won't let you stop. Any questions? Or you can find any of us after the show here, and we'll be happy to talk with you. Thanks all for coming. It's been a great day. Go out and enjoy the weather. Thank you.